before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakurash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing this word in truth in all sincerity. Shalom. All right. And shalom to you sisters as well that may be tuning in sooner than later or whenever, Shalom to you as well. It's Wednesday, August the 2nd, 2023. And, hey, another day. As you can tell, the weather here is, working on 7 o'clock, but you can barely see me. So, I guess the spirit hit me the other day, I'm sort of, a news freak in that regard, and I guess that's what this is for me, in the spirit. This is like the AM morning reporting, because I promise you, since I was like kindergarten age, my mom would always cut the local news on, and so I was like, oh, that's what this is. It's just a slot of the time, I'm working the AM, and I got a chuckle out of that. But what I wanted to touch on is something I saw yesterday. I saw a video yesterday on TikTok, and this home inspector asked two things. If I got time, I will speak on in this lesson. That's right. The one that just came to my mind is what I originally wanted to do. Yo, the moon is crazy. If you haven't got a chance, jeez, hold on. If you can see the moon. Yeah, man, the moon was as close, was one of those super moons. Shit's crazy. I'm just looking at it right in front of me. Beautiful. Let's get to it. The first thing I want to speak on while it's fresh on my mind, is let's do with the first thing. I don't know if I spoke on this, but it was on my spirit to speak on it. Again, these two comedians, Theo Vaughn or something like that, which he's a Jake. His dad is Issachar. He looks like a redneck, but that's a Jake. And then the other Edomite, I forget. If you see him, you'll recognize him. I don't know his name. He's been in a lot of movies. One of those like low budget comical relief type of movies. Jeez, the moon is crazy right now. And make a long story short, right? I don't want to ramble. He was speaking about the fact of, he gave a stat basically speaking on comedies. And he was saying how hard it is for comedies to be produced nowadays because the typical moviegoer expects every movie to be a Marvel Avatar level movie, meaning it costs $200 million. It costs $500 million to make this movie, whereas a movie like Friday, I don't even think that movie cost them $500,000 to make. Probably wasn't even that much. Because sometimes comedy is not the same. You don't need really special effects for a comedy. Fast forwarding. He spoke about the fact that in years past, that all the movie production companies would release upward of together they would release, give or take, you could say about 100 comedies a year, somewhere in that range. 100 comedy movies, all for all people. So every group of people has something to laugh at, right? Fast forward to last year, 2022. Keep in mind what I just said. Roughly 2 comedies was being released in the movie theaters every week in years past. Last year, I think he said only 6 comedies came to movie theaters. 6. Remember I just said in years past, 2 would come out a week. So 2 a week equals, you got, what, 4 weeks in a month? 2, 4, 6. So that's, in years past, more comedies would come out in a month than did last year, total. You understand what that means? Like, and that goes to show you that the spirit of this place is done. Scriptures say in Isaiah the 24th chapter, a brother quoted this when I dropped that in the group, that there shall be a yearn. There's no joy in the streets. And I'm roughly paraphrasing, but if somebody wants to put it in, I think it's Isaiah 24:10. And there's a yearn for wine. All right, there's no joy out here. Comedies, you got to be in the right mental space to watch a comedy. You know, you got to want to laugh. You got to want to be in the spirit of chuckling and jiving and cracking up. You know, that shit don't exist no more. Okay? Because why? This place is mourning. Jeremiah 51, Slaki, I don't got a car thing in my phone acting up. Jeremiah 51 said what? Give her balm. Basically, there is no healing this place. You know, what they say, laughter heals the soul. That's a spirit. Yeah, that's a quote, I believe. Laughter heals the soul. Laughter is a form of medicine. And there's none of that form is coming out anymore. People aren't laughing and chuckling and having a good fucking time, and that spirit is long gone. Okay? So you got to remember that this is just all focusing on the reality of where we are where this nation is. That's why you got to be mindful of, like I've spoken on before in lessons. You have to be mindful of the balance between Ecclesiastes 7:1-2 and Ecclesiastes 8:15. What am I saying when I say that? The scriptures in Ecclesiastes say what? That it's better to be in the house of mourning than the house of mirth. But you can't just stop there. That's only part of it. Because King Solomon comes right behind that in the 8th chapter and speaks about commending mirth. Because mirth is the principal thing of life. Being merry, mirth, being merry, eating, drinking, basically giving to marry, having sex. All of these elements are very big in of the experience of being a human being, man, or being in the flesh, or being an Israelite for that matter. Now we know we're here as a punishment, so we deal with this in balance. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm at this job and it's a lot of fuck shit, man. I tell you, man. Hospitals, man. Some of the dumbest people you ever meet is at hospitals and colleges, man. Man, this motherfucker over here trying to park in a place where he ain't got no goddamn business parking at, man. I fucking hate these people. Forgive me. So there's these TV shows, that shit's over with. We've been speaking on that for weeks now. You have the protest or the strike going on with movies and television, shit like that, right? So that energy in itself is not going to give people something to have 10 minutes of laughs, 20 minutes of laughs. That's my show. You understand how much these shows got our people through times in the 80s and 90s, Fat Martin and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all these different shows. They brought about a positive mind frame. Even if it was you had a bad day, you could get some good laughs out of this show or whatever. That shit don't exist no more. So let's fast forward to the next point that I wanted to speak on as well, since I got a little bit of time. The housing market. All right, the housing market. I was watching a video yesterday, and this home inspector was speaking on the housing market, and which I don't agree with everything he said. because some of it was said was based in his Edomite-based thought process. You know, they'll say anything they can to save face and not accept the reality that their kingdom is cooked. You know, they don't want the idea of all of this stuff, the everything crashing down. They don't want to even consider that. Okay. But one thing that I found interesting from the video of what he was saying was these houses over the last several years, the prices of material, the prices to build, the prices of everything has skyrocketed. So you have people doing things as such as cutting corners, as they would say, cheaper material. So not only are you buying houses, overpriced houses, you're buying houses that are overpriced, the interest rate is crazy, and the material is cheap. So you have to look at this whole scenario and realize that this is not sustainable. It's not, okay? It's not sustainable in no way, shape, or form. And it made me think of Isaiah the 14th chapter that tells it that what? Hell from beneath has come to meet thee, and the worms are spread underneath thee. And home building has a, I won't per se throw home building. Now we know that scripture is directly speaking to the infrastructure of Babylon the Great, which that already is shitty in its own goddamn right. But you could say homes are somewhat. You could say homes are. You could include homes in that. You know, you could include homes in that level of infrastructure. Home owning is an important aspect of a society. You know, you could gauge how well a society is doing by how little homelessness there is, how little hunger there is, things of that nature. But we're living in a time now where, you know, there is high food insecurities. If you don't know what that word is, look it up. Homelessness, evictions. Here in Atlanta, where I'm at, and you gotta think about it when you hear these stats dealing with Atlanta. I can't speak on other cities, but here in Atlanta, when you hear the stat of Atlanta, that's only really talking about Fulton County. Atlanta only has about 500,000 residents, versus Metro Atlanta has almost 8+ million people live in it. So what about DeKalb County, Fulton County, Cobb County, Gwinnett County, Clayton County, Henry County, Rockdale County? You understand what I'm saying? I can keep going. That's all it's like 13 counties make up Metro Atlanta. And at Fulton, in Atlanta, 10,000 more evictions have already occurred this year than last year in total. You understand what I'm saying? So I believe like 72,000 evictions have occurred this year, and we still got fall and winter to get through. And don't forget yesterday, in California, all them residents or wherever in whatever part of California, they got to pay back all their goddamn rent, because a lot of people ain't been paying rent since the pandemic started. So the scriptures say also in Ezra's second Ezra's, I want to say 15 or 16, one or the other, that then ye shall be cast out of thy houses. You know, this is what's happening. All right. Keeping a roof over your head is damn near mission impossible at this point. You know, like I said, you know, 30 years ago, people really wasn't concerned about rent like that, man. You know, it's just a place where you lived at, and that's where you at. It was cool. You could get 2 roommates, and y'all both paying $250 a month type joint. You know what I'm saying? It was a different element of time. Everything was different. It's not like that no more. You know, I seen a shack. I seen a shack in Long Island, out there in the Hamptons. It's like a $500,000, $1 million shack. It didn't even have running water in it. It was like literally a slave cabin. Then there was a one in Tampa in the hood, and it literally was a shack. Like it was a cinder block shed that somebody put some flooring in and put some electric in it to have for you to put a refrigerator and a stove and a microwave in that hole. And they were charging $800 a month in rent for a shed. This wasn't a home. It's a shed. Shed with a bathroom and a hot plate. So people are being cast out of their homes, man. Homelessness is it's through the roof. RV sales are through the roof. You understand? Roommating is through the roof. I spoke on this before here in my county. I live in DeKalb County here. The DeKalb County got to come up with over like several billions worth of dollars of money for the sewage. See, housing is a specific way. That's why within the law, statutes, and commandments of even the scriptures, there's laws on what do you do with your house and this, that, and the third scenarios. If you got mold, this is what you do. If you got a flat roof, you got to put the balusters, right? Which I was going to do a lesson on that. You only got to have the balusters or that railing on the side, and you can see a lot of flat roof storefronts will have that little wall on the front. That's if your roof is flatted. You have different types of roofs, you know. Like I said, this is even in the law of our scriptures. You have gable roofs. You have hip roofs, coral roof. It's like 7 different types of roofs. Flat is one style. If you have a flat roof, you have to put the banisters on the side of your house. So there's laws within our scriptures to deal with housing. You understand? So the plumbing and the sewage in DeKalb County is fucked. Why? Why do you think that is? Because these homes weren't meant for, if you live in a 3-bedroom home, like I live in a 3-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms. A home like that, when it was built in the 80s or the 90s, was built with the mind frame of a mother, a father, and maybe 2 children, right? We live in a time now where these homes have 2 women, 3 men, some teen kids, some children. It'd be 8, 9 people in these homes. What do you think that's doing for the plumbing? How much extra plumbing is going through the sewer system because you had to move your cousin from Ohio to your house because they fell on hard times, or you needed a roommate? You get what I'm trying to say? All of these scenarios is causing this place to decay even at a faster pace, excuse me. Okay? Scriptures say that in these times to come that we should be as pilgrims. We've never really had a home. That's why we're fighting for that labor, and we're fighting for that city that continue. This city, we don't have a continuation in this city. That's why it's going to increase to the point of us being pilgrims on the planet Earth. All right? That's it. The homes is cooked. All right? You got people out here paying $6,000 a month for bullshit ass homes. I think in LA County, 70% of all homes in LA County are over the price of $1 million. Talking about little 1,200 square foot homes, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom homes, $1 million homes. See, here's the kicker too, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna close up here, because you got a lot of homeowners, which a lot of these devils are resting their mind on, thinking that this is sweet. Their home value has increased. They might have bought their home for $200,000, and over the last 8 years, it's increased to $1 million. It does not matter what you say the value of something is. It does not matter what you think the value of something is. That value only matters to somebody willing to pay for it. I don't give a damn if you have a Rolex, and it could be a 101 Daytona, Perpetual, Oyster Perpetual. It could be the Pepsi joint, the Incredible Hulk one. It could be whatever. But in the times to come, if there's nobody to buy your watch, what fucking good is it that you got a $100,000 watch? The item of which you're selling is only as powerful as the people that are willing and wanting to buy it. Oh, I got these shoes, these Jordans, these are, so what? Oh, I got these later. That shit don't mean nothing. So a lot of people are just sitting on properties that they should have cashed out a long time ago, downsized, and changed their whole perspective on the housing market. But instead, millions of people are going to be stuck in homes that are worthless, that nobody will buy. Okay? Hey, so you know what? Let me go ahead and close up here. All right. All right, hold on. All right, let me close up here. I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere occupants out here pushing this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you sisters as well. Shalom to you family, through the spirit. Damn, this is crazy. The birds are... like the geese is the ducks. The geese is already flying south, man. And man, keep your head up, keep your composure. Keep your head on a swivel. Be smart, be wise. Pray. Watch as well as pray, because it's a lot of stuff happening, man. All right. So with that, I want to say shalom.